pretty significant playoff games between these two teams.
Joseph now behind cover. Down he goes. Gregory Alexandra topples Kerry Joseph.
Alexandra, the former Montreal Canadien. Guy who's proud to see his alma mater, by the way, heading to the national semifinals after an overtime victory over Laval yesterday. He's in at that defensive tackle spot. He's been part of the rotation this season with Eddie Steele, Armando Sewell. Beats Brendan Labatt to the inside to pick up the sack.
Second and a lot of real estate. 19. Joseph steps up now and fires, and it's picked. Dexter McCoyle continues his outstanding season. Kerry Joseph has now tied a dubious playoff record with 5 interceptions. The Saskatchewan Roughriders just got McCoiled.
Dexter McCoyle tied for the league lead with 6 during the regular season. Just picked up the Eskimos' 5th of the game. Big story right now. The big story is at quarterback, where Mike Riley has just replaced Matt Nichols.
Unbelievable. Nichols was on the field looking at his wristband. Riley came into the ball game, and here he is. We did not think we'd see Mike Riley. Now John White on a power pitch sweep. Big first down. Riley, you and I watched him earlier today. He could barely move out there, was throwing the football. Again, word is that he could have a broken foot, playing injured.
And I mean, you can detect a little bit of a limp there, and quite frankly, it looked more pronounced than that during the warm-up. So it'll be interesting to see the extent of the playbook with which Mike Riley is working here.
17-yard gain for John White. See what kind of mobility Mike Riley has in the pocket. Loaded up here, and they hand it off again to White. This is why Mike Riley is playing in relief of Matt Nichols today.
Yeah, 4th quarter with a big lead against the BC Lions. Mike Riley on a scramble, goes down awkwardly, came up limping after that play. You know, many questions about whether or not he should have been in the game, and I'll go on the record. I'm not as bothered as most people are by the fact that he was still in the ball game. See a little extra padding on that right foot.
2nd and 9. Riders look like they moved. Were they drawn? Riley throws it anyways. So here we have Mike Riley in the game. Tino Sunseri apparently was warming up as well. Kerry Joseph has thrown 5 interceptions. That ties a CFL playoff record. That's not the kind of record you want to have, mind you. I'll list some players, including Ron Lancaster, who did that twice, by the way.
Offside. Saskatchewan number 93. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
And it's a remarkable series of events at quarterback. Leading up to this game, now during the game as well.
Mike Riley, the West Division All-Star, voted in at his position. So injured his hand this season. Now throws it to White, bobbles and drops it. The whistle blows. Now you can hear some of the fans here. The Saskatchewan Roughrider fans travel well and travel a lot. Those were cheers from the Rider fans who felt that perhaps White had possession.
Yeah, but he was bobbling this one the whole way. Never secured the
Rolling
football.
on the field is an incomplete pass. It will be 3rd down.
So after a rather stunning turn of events when we did not think we were going to see Mike Riley. He comes out, drives the ball into field goal territory for Hugh O'Neill. Looking to extend the lead to 13. This from just inside the 40-yard line. Nichols in the game to the hold. O'Neill, this one is wide right. Dressler looking to take a knee likely, and he will. Seeking an opening, he gives up the single point. That's 2 misses for O'Neill. The Saskatchewan Roughriders are hanging around in a game that the Edmonton Eskimos could have put a long time ago. And guess who's in the huddle now for the Riders?
Tino Sinceri. Looks like he's getting some last-minute instructions here from offensive coordinator George Cortez. Before he gets his first action of the day, there are his numbers on the season. 6 touchdown passes versus 3 interceptions. Obviously had his ups and downs. Filling in for Darian Durant.
Former star, University of Pittsburgh. Other plays in the National Football League. Dad is a coach. They load up the house. Here come the Eskimos. Sinceri throws and trying to find Chris Getzlaf, who had a step, it looked like, but the ball was overthrown.
Yeah, he did. Getzlaf in behind coverage there. Marcel Young ended up as the closest defender on the play. But Getzlaf, a bit of separation here as he takes the middle with the safety. Not involved. Got a good release there, as you saw on Young to get over top.
Barry Joseph, 5 picks. Looks like he is done. Comes the rush again, and Sinceri runs now, and Tino Sinceri at first. Down, semi-contact. 12-yard gain for Tino Sinceri on a enormous play here to keep the drive alive.
This is a great decision by Tino Sinceri. Under pressure, but things open up on that right side. And he sees it, he recognizes he's got an opportunity to get to the marker.
How about the job the O-line did there to afford him that time in the pocket? First and 10 from the Saskatchewan 47. Sinceri goes deep again, looking for Williams, and he's got it! Oh, he had it! Corey Williams, who has Saskatchewan's lone touchdown, came late in the first half. For a moment, looked like he made an outstanding catch.
Yeah, I love the way that Corey Williams played this football. As you'll see, he used his body to kind of shield the defender from the ball, and then at the last second, he stays inside, and then at the last second, pushes away just a little bit, very subtly, to get to that ball, but unable to squeeze it. But put in a good spot by Sinceri, who just drops it in there. But unable to survive that contact with the ground was Corey Williams.
Decibels rise up. Temperature plummets. Games up. Sinceri. Williams makes the catch in traffic. Almost triple team coverage. The good spot for the Roughriders. Up near the Edmonton 50-yard line, a 12-yard gain. Sinceri fires a laser.
And Tino Sinceri sparking a little bit of life into this Saskatchewan Roughrider offense. And there's that quick hitter, as you said, throwing it on the rope.
Sinceri again, lobs it out for Rob Bagg. And the whistle blew, and Rob Bagg was down. Rob Bagg became the Riders' leading receiver this season, a West Division All-Star. Chris Getzlaf was injured. Weston Dressler only played half the season, so they didn't get the productivity they normally get from those guys, and saw a lot of football.
Yeah, he did. Rob Bagg ending up just a couple yards from his career high.
Receiver, Edmonton number 23. That penalty's decline. First down.
By the way, Tino Sinceri, he's not new to coming into the game here. He's had some reps this year when Darian Durant went out, and those reps look like they're paying off.
Well, they certainly do. Sinceri demonstrating a lot of poise coming in this situation.
First and 10 from the Edmonton 40. closes and twisted down. J.C. Sherritt. Kind of become one of the forgotten men, it seems, in that Edmonton defense, who a guy a few years ago was the most outstanding defensive player in the Canadian Football League.
Well, and it's frankly a good thing, and that's taking absolutely nothing of J.C. Sherritt. But it means that there's a little bit more help around him on that defense and a lot of other people making plays.
Sherritt, of course, owned the Canadian Football League tackle record the year he won Outstanding Defensive Player. That was obliterated this year by Solomon Elimimian, now nominated for Most Outstanding and Most Outstanding Defensive Player. Sinceri, second down. Good blocking. Has a convoy now, and Sinceri has a first down.
Sinceri forced the scramble. He calls some of his own number.
Boy, talk about making something out of absolutely nothing.
Well, this was a game where we expected and quite frankly hoped under the circumstances that you would see the quarterbacks in the game earlier getting involved. Stephen Miller with a nice block downfield on the scramble. But quarterbacks using their legs, you knew there was going to be pressure from both defenses ball game. We talked about Matt Nichols. There were opportunities to run. Felt at times maybe Terry Joseph could have put a little more pressure on the defense with his legs.
Eighth play of the drive. Slant pattern. Sinceri fires it into Weston Dressler. It's going to be second down again. Half the first down yardage, looks like 5. Tino Sinceri has lit a fire here, a spark for the Roughriders.
Well, he certainly has. Sinceri coming in a couple of runs. He's thrown a couple of bullets here. He's moving the sticks.
How about this in this drive? 28 pass yards for Sinceri, 27 rush yards. Big down here. Inside 2 minutes, third quarter. They load up the house. The Eskimos bring it. Sinceri goes corner and try to come back to the football. No, at the goal line. Riders wanted a penalty. They're not getting it as bad. Was watched closely on the far sideline.
Yeah, Bag's going to take the outside release here. And as the defender, Otha Foster's right with him. Sinceri's looking for a throw behind. But Bag unable to work back to that football. Like he may have been hooked a little bit there by Foster as he tried to make that break.
Chris Milos had a subpar season, 9th in the CFL in field goal percentage, 71%. This from the 30-yard line, buries it. 8-point ball game. Getting closer here. Tino Sinceri has provided some life to the Saskatchewan Roughriders in this Western semi. Year of defense in the Football League. Sacks were up this year. Purolator Sack Attack brought to you by Purolator, tackling hunger across Canada. Check, and the 2 big check marks go to these 2 teams on the field at Commonwealth tonight.
Yeah, number 1 and 2 in the league. And we look at the individuals tied for second. Eric Norwood of Hamilton, Sean Lemon of Calgary, Odell Willis of the Edmonton Eskimos, all with 13. But topping the list, John Chick of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, career high 15 sacks this season for the green and white.
15 sacks, was on a pace to break the all-time record. Has only had 1 sack in his last 6 games, but the Saskatchewan Roughriders are making this very uncomfortable for the Edmonton Eskimos in what looked like it could have been a rout early in this ball game. 5 interceptions. You should not be in a ball game.
Yeah, well, we've talked about it. The Edmonton Eskimos made this uncomfortable for themselves, not capitalizing on the first half opportunities.
Hence putting money into this ball game to try to put some more points on the board. Riders continue to claw forward. 8-point deficit for Saskatchewan, the defending Grey Cup champions. Remember what happened last year to this team? They knew that they had the home field advantage in Regina, possibility of getting to the Grey Cup game, but they weren't favorites last year in the postseason.
Well, Corey Chamberlain talked to us yesterday about the fact that this has evolved a little bit into a lunch pail bunch. Bunch of guys who do their work and chip away.
Here comes the heat. Riley John Chick in on Mike Riley. There was a penalty flag that flew when the ball was snapped. 26 seconds remain, third quarter. Anybody's ball game here.
Offside. Edmonton number 19. That penalty's declined. Third down.
You know, the graphic we just showed, two of the sack leaders and the defense. No surprise that this game is turning out the way it is.
John Chick is getting heated up here. You saw him on the loop. He ended up with a pretty good bull rush on the guard. Matt O'Donnell to get the pressure there.
Once again, two returners back for the Roughriders as Hugh O'Neill steps onto the field again. Riders set up the return. Dressler has a block and another. Good field position again for the Riders. Well, available now, TSN Shop is the newest online destination for licensed CFL jerseys and ultimate man cave merchandise. Visit tsnshop.ca to start shopping today. Good day to be in the cave today, huh? Lots of football, a great weekend. Continues next weekend, of course, the East and West final. Final play barring penalty. Third quarter. Terry wants to throw. He's got lots of time now. In pursuit. Down he goes. Alonzo Lawrence with the sack. Tough day in this cold weather to be a quarterback hitting that hard turf. Few sacks now. Probably more to come here.
Pursuit from the backside. Alonzo Lawrence brings him down.
18-10 Edmonton. We head to the fourth at Commonwealth. And the Western semifinal rolls on. Considerably in that third quarter. Look at Saskatchewan. Their passing yardage now. Key number, the 5 turnovers. Not so much the 5 turnovers, the fact that Edmonton could not capitalize on all those 5 interceptions thrown by Kerry Joseph. So here we are to the fourth. Kerry Joseph and Matt Nichols start. And now Tino Sunseri and Mike Riley are finishing.
Yeah, and it's coming down to Tino Sunseri, who's been pretty effective since coming into this ball game, both in terms of throwing and running the football for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. 28 yards through the air. He's chipped in another 27 on the ground to move the sticks a couple of times. Now the question is, how effective will Mike Riley be with very limited mobility? We know that Riley's ability to scramble, his involvement in the ground game for the Eskimos has been a big part of his success this season. We don't know how much of that Mike Riley we're actually going to see today.
Sunseri wants it off and off now. Stephen Miller has room over the midfield stripe, and something we did not see from the Roughriders throughout that offensive drought in the first half was bubble screens or any kind of dump passes, and now Sunseri throws this one, picks up 15.
Yeah, having the outlet receivers available when the pressure is coming or nothing's opening up downfield, and there you see it with Stephen Miller. Guy who gives a different dimension in the backfield, smaller scat back type as opposed to the bagger in Anthony Allen. He gets him close to first down yardage. It's about 1.5 yards. On third down, they're going to go for it.
Well, Sunseri is going to go talk about it.
Timeout.
They take a timeout. 3rd and 1. There's lots of time left. Saskatchewan this season on third down conversions, 11 for 16. 5.
And not a gimme here, and it's over 1 yard to go here for sure.
So probably huddling up and also looking at that game clock with 14.5 minutes to go. Will they stay on the field with their offense, or will they bring out Josh Bartel?
The offense is staying out.
They're going for it. Tino Sinceri coming off the bench.
They've generated momentum with Sinceri in the ballgame. They're trying to maintain that.
And he goes in shotgun, in pistol formation. On third down. He's throwing. And it's incomplete for Getzlaff. Wow. Third and a long yard. They go to throw the football and they can't come through, and they turn it over again to the Eskimos, who get good field position now.
And Anthony Allen hangs it late. What they're trying to do is keep that threat of a run fake in the backfield rather than having him set early to pass protect. They want to keep the run threat there and get the Eskimos to buy in, but the S didn't bite at all and were there to defend the pass perfectly. Great friendship between these two head coaches. Chris Jones and Corey Chamberlain goes back to the mid-90s at Tennessee Tech. But they are ridiculously competitive.
Good news for the Riders, there's still lots of time left, but that could be a very costly turnover in the grand scheme of things as John White barrels forward. Did you like that play call?
I wasn't sold on going for it in that situation, and I'm typically very much a guy who believes in playing to win, playing aggressive, gambling a little bit. But in that situation, I'd have actually punted for the field position because the Edmonton offense has been pretty stagnant, and I'd have tried to swing the field a little bit in terms of the exchange of punts.
Well, let's see how it plays out now. Second down and 6. Riley shotgun. Mike Riley coming off the bench as well. And he'll keep it on the ground. They pound that ground again, so this will be third down. So in the grand scheme of things, Edmonton is going to punt it back, but it is an exchange of field position of about 45 yards.
Yeah, and so now it means instead of maybe getting the ball back around midfield on that exchange for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, unless they get a big return from Weston Dressler here, they're going to have to march a little bit.
Here's another big number for you. 6 turnovers by the Saskatchewan Roughriders, only 4 points scored by the Edmonton Eskimos. That is playing out large here as Dressler steps out of bounds. And a roughing call, unnecessary roughness.
This is a touchy call.
Yeah, it would look like
he tried to hold him up.